The Doom of Koresh, as it was called, actually occurred so far in the past that if we fast forward in time, where this lands us on Azeroth is in the ultra-ancient days of the Black Empire. At this point, the surface of Azeroth was covered in eldritch horrors called the Old Gods. They were powerful beings of the Void. They were flung into the cosmos in countless numbers by their masters, the Void Lords like Dementius, in hopes that they would land on a planet and spread their corrupting influence to the world soul within. Xal'atath was also sent from the Void, and she was referred to as the Harbinger. We're not exactly sure why yet that she went to Azeroth, but this started a turf war with the Old Gods there, who at this point already had major beef with each other. In an unprecedented move, the four Old Gods, Yasiraj, Yogg-Saron, Cthulhu, and N'Zoth, joined their forces to imprison Xal'atath in a blade so that she could not usurp their power. However, what they did not know was that this would only stall the inevitable. Xal'atath was manipulative, a schemer, and extremely patient. Despite his gargantuan size, N'Zoth was the weakest of the Old Gods, but where he lacked in physical prowess like his brethren, he more than made up for in superior intelligence, cunning, and scheming, very much like Xal'atath. She recognized this, and as she was being trapped in the blade by the Old Gods, Xal'atath reached out to N'Zoth to bargain. Now trapped in the blade for untold millennia, Xal'atath manipulated her way from one wheeler to the next. Through scheming and whispers, she influenced major events throughout the history of Azeroth, only to disappear without a trace at the most inconvenient of times. This concludes part 1. Thank you so much for listening. At this point in our story, Xal'atath has not yet even been introduced to the player characters, so part 2 will cover when Xal'atath was found by the Shadow Priest and how they used her to help defeat the Burning Legion. If you enjoy this content, please engage from the bottom up and follow me for more daily Warcraft lore bites.